Hi everybody, welcome to the Footy Channel Groundhopper. Thomas Tuchel, what the hell was that yesterday? Let's get into it. Yeah, so everybody, before we get into the reaction about Andorra versus England, let's go through the little few formalities first of all. If you do enjoy what you see in today's video, then please do smash the like. It does help the channel up the search, so please do give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and hit that subscribe. Come be part of this great community. Over 6,700 subscribers. Thank you very much to everybody who's subscribed so far. Also, hit the bell notification. That will let you know when I'm live, have any pre-records or any upcoming shows as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat, clicking on the dollar sign. All money is reinvested into the channel. Yes, so yesterday we took on Andorra away in Espanyol in Barcelona, as we had to use their stadium, as Andorra are unable to use their national stadium at this present time. Everybody went into that game thinking, yes, this 4-5-0. Somebody said 7-0. You know, it's and Sky Bet even had us at 12-1 for 7-0. So, you know, it was a game that everybody thought, yes, England's going out there, they'll romp these easily, and you know, and look, that's how it should have been. And that's no disrespect to Andorra, by the way. But let's put up the team news and look at the team, because this, when I saw this team news, this concerned me straight away, and I'll explain why. So, there's the team news up on screen now. Okay, so he's gone with Pickford in goal, which I thought, yeah, he could have put a different keeper in there because, you know, the keeper won't have a lot to do in that game, if I'm honest. When I saw Reece James was playing at left back, I thought, straight away that wasn't an alarm bell, because why is he playing left back when he's normally plays right back? We had Curtis Jones playing right back, which I didn't feel comfortable with either. Yes, okay, it's only Andorra, as Thomas Tuchel probably thought, but to me, I still thought, no, that's square pegs and round holes. So for me, again, that was a mismatch at the back. The full backs were totally wrong. Midfield, we had Jordan Henderson in there. Jordan Henderson, 34, 35, whatever he is. He's past it. He's finished. Why are we still picking Jordan Henderson for? You know, he is the past for England. He's not the future. We need to stop doing this, you know. And when I look at the bench, I look at the bench and I think, right, okay, so why is Declan Rice on the bench? Why isn't he playing instead of Henderson? You know, he's our best central defence CDM we've got there, and yet he's on the bench. We've got a left back on the bench in Lewis Skelly. Why isn't he playing his proper position at left back? Why is Trent Alexander-Arnold on the bench? He could have played at right back. It seems to be Thomas Tuchel is picking favourites, like Chelsea favourites, like he's making sure Reece James gets in there. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the likes of Rodgers or Madueke, because I thought they played okay. You know, but as I say, there was just a few changes there in that team that I wasn't happy with. And I think we would have been better equipped if we'd had people in the proper positions. And also if Henderson wasn't playing and it was Declan Rice instead. If you want to make changes like this, experimenting-wise, you do that in a friendly, not in a match that's for a World Cup qualifier. So for me, straight away, the alarm bells rang on that team sheet. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? If you do agree with me, get your comments in and let me know what you thought of yesterday's game and the team sheets as well. I mean, look, we started the game off well. We had a shot on target straight away from Bellingham. Okay, it was straight at the keeper, but it was still on target. But But look, the first half, we should have been winning that first half. In all honesty, we should have been ahead in that first half, but we weren't. I thought we were just, yes, we had the possession, but we were just so poor. We poor in front of goal. Some of the corners were okay that were coming in. Some of them weren't very good. But we dominated. Their keeper made a save. But, you know, I mean, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush, but when I got to half-time, Andorra must have thought, wow, hang on a minute, we're getting into half-time, it's 0-0. We're not even losing against England. They must have thought their birthdays come at once. Because they must have been the ecstatic team going in at half-time, 0-0. You know, and you're thinking, yeah, surely we're going to come out second half and be much better than we were, because we've got to improve. We've got to improve in the second half. Second half comes, 5 minutes into the second half, Kane scores. Good goal. You know, Kane doing what he does best at the back post there and sticks it in the back of the net. Now, the thing is, when Kane scores, you think, right, okay, we've got the first now. They'll have to come out and play if they want to try and get an equaliser. We now go and attack. And we seemed to attack, but we didn't seem to be carrying that threat towards their goal as much. Their keeper went down for a little bit in the second half, just to waste a bit of time and take the sting out of the game. And, you know, yes, we had other chances. We had chances later on where Gordon, the ball fell across to Madueke. Madueke tried to put it back to Gordon and it ended up in the arms of the goalkeeper. You know, and there was a couple of balls that went behind Kane and things like that. So, you know, but, you know, we get to the end of this game and it's only 1-0. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, hang on, this has been an absolute shit show of a game. It's been absolutely boring as hell. I've never been so bored in all my life watching an England game. And I've watched some England games which have been very boring, but this has got to be the worst of them, I'm afraid. And I'm not going to hold back now because, look, I like to see England do well. I want to see us win a World Cup. I want to see us win a Euros. We should have won a Euros under Southgate. Especially the final against Italy. We should have won that game, you know. But that's by the by now. We probably should have went on and won the World Cup in 2018. We had the greatest chance there. And again, we blew that in against Croatia in the semi-final. But the way I look at this, and I look at this team, and I just think, it just, to me, does not fill you with confidence. Because we are playing the wrong players. Tuchel got that team sheet absolutely wrong. He cocked it up yesterday. Granted, yes, okay, we've come out with a win. And everybody will say, oh yeah, but 3 points. Yeah, 3 points. But 1-0 against Andorra? Really? Do you think Andorra probably celebrating in their dressing room, probably thinking, wow, we've only lost 1-0. We've played England, who are in the top 10 of the world, and we're so far down the rankings, over 100 and odd in the world, and we've got away with just losing 1-0 to England. They'll be loving that. Their managers, probably because they've only conceded 1 goal, they'll probably get a huge match bonus for that. If Kane hadn't scored in the 50th minute, would we have won that game? Probably not. We might have come out of that with a 0-0 draw. Then how would that have looked around the world? I mean, you know, we want to win the World Cup next year. We're not winning the World Cup next year, I'm afraid. So forget that now. And I'm not being a defeatist because I want us to win the World Cup. But with the way we played yesterday, there is no way we are winning the World Cup. There are far better teams out there. Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, Brazil. If we want to win the World Cup, we better start cleaning our act up and rather quickly. And Thomas Tuchel better start picking the right players. Because he is the problem with England. If Thomas Tuchel's not the job, I want him gone. I want him out now, Tuchel. I want him gone. And I don't care that we've won 3 games and that we're top of the qualifying group. Because I think Thomas Tuchel's making a mess of England. We have regressed. Yes, we got rid of Southgate. Everybody wanted rid of Southgate because we were sick of him with the football that he was putting out there. But I can tell you now, under Southgate, we would have gone out and won that game 3-4, 5-0 yesterday. We wouldn't have laboured to a 1-0 win, that's for sure. When you're playing in a World Cup qualifying game, you play your best team, regardless of the opposition, regardless if the opposition is Andorra, Spain, or whoever. You play your best team. You do not mess about. That's what the friendlies are for experimenting. Yesterday, the strongest team should have played yesterday. And then we probably would have wiped the floor with Andorra. But no, Tuchel decides to make changes and decides to piss about with the team. And I don't think he's the right manager for England. I really don't. I thought when he first come in, I thought, yes, okay, let's give the guy a chance. Because at club level, he's been absolutely brilliant. Let's see what he can do for England. When we played Albania, I was at that game at Wembley. We won that 2-0. Granted, it was his first game. I gave him that one because I thought, yeah, okay, it's first game. We've got the win. Clean sheet. Great. Then the game against Latvia. Again, another team we should have beat by more than 2 goals. And then we go to Andorra. But we're not playing at their stadium. We're playing at Espanyol. A lovely stadium, lovely pitch. Perfect for England. Okay, it may have been a bit hot, but that's not an excuse. Because you got the World Cup next year, and that's going to be hot. So we've got to get used to it. But again, we just stuck that to a 1-0 win over the tiny Andorra, who I say will be celebrating this like a win. Because they probably feared that they were going to get turned over 5, 6, 7-0, probably. And Tony lose 1-0. You know, and they're probably part-time players as well, so they're probably going back to their jobs and thinking, wow, you know, they'll go to work as national heroes. England are a laughingstock. They really are. And I mean, I'm just so bloody annoyed how disappointing that we were yesterday in that game. How drab we were. We just scraped past Andorra, I'm afraid. We scraped that game. We didn't win it convincingly. Yes, the stats might say we had 83% possession. Possession does not win you games. Possession does not score you goals. You have got to create the chances. You've got to put them chances away. And those chances were not getting put away. The flicked header from Bellingham before half-time, easy for the goalkeeper. Who would I pick for man of the match yesterday? I don't think I could pick anybody. The only one I'd probably give it to is Harry Kane because he scored the goal. Other than that, I thought it was rubbish. I was really disappointed. Now, people might slate me for saying Tuchel out already. But I'm afraid I'm going to be honest here. I don't think he's the right man for the job. And I'm going to stand by that. Unless he turns it around and proves me wrong. Because he's got a lot to prove. Because as far as I'm concerned, he ain't the right man for the job. And if his contract's to the end of the World Cup, can't wait, get rid. Get a different manager in. Problem is, we haven't got English managers. Well, we have got one, but they can't afford them. The FA, that is. But, you know, as I said, we slated Southgate. But we would have won this game by more under Southgate. And I'm not defending Southgate for 1 minute because I think the right time for him to go was when he went. Maybe he stayed too long. Because at last Euros, we were abysmal. How we got that final is beyond me. We got there by pure luck. We were nearly out in the second round against Slovakia. You know, it's just, it really is, it's just beggars belief how we got to that final. But look, we've got Tuchel here now. And we've just got to hope things get better. One thing we've got to be happy about, though, was last night was Serbia 0-0 away to Albania. That's huge because Serbia are probably our biggest threat in this league, in this group. And for Serbia to not win that game last night, that puts them well behind us now. We now have an 8-point lead over them. Yes, they have 2 games in hand. But when we play Serbia, by God, we better be playing our strongest team. Because we played them in the Euros and we only beat them 1-0. And they were a damn good team then. And when we play them in this group games, we better be on our game. And we better be playing our strongest team. I don't want to see Henderson anywhere near this team. I don't even rate Reece James. I'm sorry, I do not rate that guy. You know, Livramento was left out of this squad. He would have been perfect at left back for England yesterday because he can play right back and left back, unlike James. But no, Tuchel decides not to select him. So now he's off for the under-21s. Alexander-Arnold, why wasn't he playing at right back yesterday? I want to know why Thomas Tuchel decided to experiment against Andorra in what is an important game where points are at stake. As I say, if we'd come out that game with a 0-0 draw yesterday, I'm sorry, but he would have to be under pressure. And it's all right for him to say after the game, oh, he's not happy, it's not good enough. Well, no, it's not good enough. But you're the one who picked the team. Why pick a team like that in the first place then? Because somebody needs to ask the question to Tuchel, why are you not playing your strongest team? Did you just take it for granted it was only Andorra, so you thought, oh, it's a walk in the park? Well, how wrong was he? It's time to ditch Henderson, I'm afraid. He's finished. Does people not understand this? Does Thomas Tuchel not understand? He's finished. You know? Just tell him, thank you, you've been a great servant, off your pop. You're supposed to bring in youngsters. We've got youngsters who could do better jobs than Jordan Henderson. Angel Gomez, why is he not getting a look in? Better than Henderson. You know, as I said, Rice was sitting on the bench. Why is he not starting this game ahead of Henderson? No wonder some players look sick on the bench yesterday. Because they must have thought, what the hell is this? As I said, Lewis Skelly was on the bench. Why couldn't he have gone in at left back? I thought Dan Burn played well yesterday for England. Probably him and Kane were probably the 2 on the pitch that probably deserve some recognition. I wasn't impressed with Bellingham yesterday. Wasn't impressed with Cole Palmer, if I'm honest. I thought Madueke did all right. He got the assist as well, didn't he? So, yeah, he did okay yesterday. Rodgers, okay, he wasn't too bad. But the rest of them, not good enough. Tuchel needs to get this sorted, and sorted quick. Because, as I said, if we'd only drew that game yesterday, all it would take is then Serbia to beat us twice. And us to go to see somewhere like Albania and get a draw. We could end up seeing ourselves falling short in this group and end up in the playoffs. If we're lucky to get in the playoffs. Might even not even get in the playoffs. So I hope this is a lesson for Tuchel. Although I'm not convinced by Tuchel, he needs a lot of improvement to make sure that this team gets to the World Cup. He needs to improve this squad 100%. And start picking players who should be playing. Don't mess around with the team on qualifying games. That's what your friendlies are for. Now, I want to see him prove me wrong, that he's the right man for this job. Because, like I say, if anybody thinks England's win the World Cup next year, I'm not. I'm not even hopeful of winning the World Cup next year, if we get there. If we get there by winning this group, I'm not hopeful of us winning that World Cup. I'll say quarterfinals maybe. Depends what the group stage is. So this should be a lesson learned for Tuchel, because you can't just blame the players that are on the pitch. You've got to blame the manager as well. He's the one who picks the team. He's the one who picks the formation. He's the one who puts square pegs in round holes. He takes the ball. At the end of the day, he is the man who takes the blame for this, Tuchel. Not the players. Tuchel takes the blame for this because he's the one who's chose this team and the tactics. And he got it absolutely wrong yesterday. And if it doesn't improve, Tuchel, you go and you leave this job and give it to somebody else who can actually do the job. Because I'm not convinced with Tuchel. I want Tuchel gone now. So, anyway, that's the end of my rant. As I say, not happy with yesterday's game at all. If you have enjoyed today, then please do smash the like. It does help the channel up the search, so please hit them thumbs up. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash that subscribe. And also hit the bell notification. That will let you know when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So yes, so England get the win, 3 out of 3. But, you know, it wasn't a convincing win, let's be honest, yesterday. Let's hope things improve under Tuchel going forward. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And I will see you all later. And once again, thank you for watching.